Hello, what can you do?
I can help you interact with the Chinook database by performing various operations such as creating, updating, and managing records in different tables like customer, invoice, employee, artist, album, track, playlist, genre, media type, and invoice line. If you need to perform a specific task, feel free to ask, and I can guide you through the process or execute the required function for you.
How many customers do we have?
There are 59 customers in the customer table.
What's the average invoice?
The average total of all invoices is approximately $5.65.
What's our largest invoice?
The largest invoice total is $25.86.
Who does it belong to?
This AI chatbot was created by
Okay,
Aero.io.
it's not perfect.
They provide
Who does the largest invoice belong to?
The largest invoice, totaling $25.86, belongs to Helena, who is associated with customer ID 6. The billing address is Rilska 31746, Prague, Czech Republic, with the postal code 4300.
Can you list all the music that Helena is listening to?
Helena is listening to the following tracks: Insensible, Collaborators, The Woman King, One Giant Leap, The Fix, Man of Science, Man of Faith, Walkabout, The Moth, Stranger in a Strange Land, Paravian Outlaws, Deus Ex Machina, Live Together, Die Alone, P-Teen 1, So Cruel.
Who else are listening to The Woman King?
Besides Helena, who has an invoice with ID 404, another customer, listening to The Woman King, has an invoice with ID 88 and a billing address at Kale Lira 198.
Who is that other customer? Can you provide me with more information about him?
The function to retrieve the customer details with invoice ID 88 was successful, but it didn't return any information. It seems there might be an issue with the customer ID or the data itself. If you have any other questions or need further assistance, feel free to ask.
Read his name from the customers table. It's not perfect, but it's very, very good.
The customer associated with the invoice at Kale Lira 198 is Luis Rojas. Here are some additional details. City, Santiago, Country, Chile. Phone for 602-635-4444. Email luisrojas@yahoo.cl.
Can you list all of his invoices?
Here are all the invoices for Luis Rojas. Invoice ID 22, date SAT4, April 2000.
So what I started out with was a database. I have a database here. You can see it in SQL Studio. If I choose Chinook. Now, you can really use any database you have almost. SQL Server, MySQL, PostgreSQL, etc. Then I click Create, I click Endpoint Generator. I choose this database, Chinook, here. And I just choose the default settings and generate endpoints. These create HTTP Web API endpoints for CRUD, in addition to aggregates, distinct, count, group by, logic, etc. Then I go back to HyperID. Then I expand modules. I click Chinook. I choose the flash icon here. And at this point, before I do this, I need to create a machine learning type. So I'm going to go to machine learning type first. Sorry about that. And create a type, call it Chinook, choose AI agent as its flavor, save, and then I can go to HyperID, expand modules and click the flash icon and choose Chinook here now, which was the type I just created now. What the system is basically doing now, it is doing meta prompt engineering, creating a RAG training data snippet for every single function that I automatically created, wrapping my database. So what you're looking at here, these are basically hyperlambda function files that allows me to do all CRUD operations in addition to distinct and group by and count and aggregates, etc., etc. And then basically when I'm speaking to the AI agent itself, then it's looking up this RAG data, which gives it declarations for my functions, how to invoke functions in my Cloudlet. So now when I go to manage, I go to machine learning and I create embeddings for this type by clicking the vectorize here now. What's happening now is that I end up with a RAG-based database where every single RAG entry is a function invocation declaration allowing OpenAI to understand how to get, create, read, update, and delete data from my database, in addition to all of these aggregate functions, distinct, group by, count by, etc., etc. So all in all, this gives me a model where I can speak to my database using either my keyboard or my voice to actually end up having an AI agent that allows me to extract data from my database. And I can ask it to summarize, to average, max, mean, count, group by, etc., etc., etc. Now I'm going to show you how you can speak to a CSV file. You see, a CSV file is really fundamentally an SQL table. It just doesn't know it quite yet. So what I'm going to be doing in order to show you this, I'm going to go to manage, I'm going to go to databases, and then I'm going to create a new database, just call it CSV, just to have a database to host my CSV file. If I now click edit here, and I click the three icons here, and I click import CSV file, then I can choose a CSV file. I have a CSV file that I've taken from kaggle.com. It's about NBA players, and it shows some statistics such as, average height, weight, their names, where they're playing, etc., etc. This process is going to take some time, so let me just fast forward until it is done. So now it is done. Took about a minute. So now I have a database. I can refresh SQL Studio here and look at the structure. So you can see it creates one column for each of my players. If I now go to create, I go to endpoint generator and I choose the CSV database and I just click generate endpoints for it. Then it will generate endpoints or AI functions similarly to how it did for the Chinook database. Then I can go to manage machine learning, I can create a new type, I can call it CSV, turn it into an AI agent, save it, go to create, HyperID, expand modules, choose my CSV guy, hover over the flash icon, and choose CSV to generate AI functions for this particular folder. Now what I can do is I can go back to manage machine learning and I can click vectorize on this guy, which is going to go fairly rapidly because there's only 10 AI functions. And now when I am done, I can switch back to my AI expert system and refresh, at which point I can choose my CSV type here. If you want to play around with the Chinook type, you need to choose the Chinook guy here. I'm going to do the CSV guy now. So then I can ask it questions.
Speak out loud and clear.
How many players do we have? Please count them.
There are 4,171 players in the common player info table.
Count unique countries where these players are coming from, unique and distinct.
There are 73 unique and distinct countries from which the players are coming.
List all unique countries, please.
Here are the unique countries from which the players are coming. USA, France, Spain, Nigeria, New Zealand, South Sudan, Trinidad and Tobago, Turkey, Canada, United Kingdom, Australia, Lithuania, Greece, Macedonia, Brazil, Scotland, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Bahamas.
You can stop it by clicking the stop icon. How many players do we have from USA?
There are 3,770 players from the USA in the common player info table.
What's their average height? The ones from the USA.
The average height of players from the USA is approximately 6.01 feet.
Can you list the first 5 players that are above the average height from the USA?
Here are the first 5 players from the USA who are above the average height of 6.01 feet. Minute Bull.
Now, if I want to have the thing being able to create bar charts, then all I gotta do, I go to training data, I choose my type CSV here, choose add, I choose template, and I filter on chart, create bar chart, save, go back to types, click vectorize to create embeddings for this additional training snippet. I'm done. Now I can go here and I can ask it to find the average. Actually, let me talk to it.
Speak out loud and clear.
Find the average height of players from the USA, Canada, Nigeria, and Norway. Then create a bar chart for me.
The average height for players from Norway is approximately 6.0 feet. Now that we have the average heights for each country, let's create a bar chart to visualize this data. USA, 6.01 feet. Canada, 6.08 feet. Nigeria, 6.27 feet. Norway, 6.0 feet. Here's the bar chart.